like to call the meeting of the Benton Harbor Benton Harbor Downtown Development Authority to order. We have a quorum here. I'll call the roll. Mr. Rabbers? Here. Mr. Edwards?
Here.
Mr. Pugh? Here. Mr. Little? Here. And I'm here. We have a quorum. I'd like a motion, please, to approve the agenda.
Make a motion that the agenda be approved with all necessary corrections.
All right. Support? Any support? All right. All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Citizens' comments. I wonder, Ms. Clausen, would you like to address the the DDA board and introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Jasmine Clausen, owner of Juniper Marketing. I also am contracted through Emerge Innovation Hub, and I'm happy to be here.
Thank you for coming. Ms. Clausen has expressed an interest in joining the DDA board and filled out an application with the clerk for appointment. So we hope that she'll be joining us soon. And excited about having another person with marketing experience to kind of jump in and help us move things forward. So thank you for coming today. Which basically that's the membership appointments. We did have a resignation. Ms. Or Chef Audrey Peebles has had some issues with time constraints and felt that it would be best to step down at this point. She would like to remain active and as a part of the communications committee. So she'll be hopefully joining with John Pugh, who is our committee chair, and we'll get to his report shortly. Ms. Allen is not here to give us a report, so we'll go past that for right now. Communications.
Going right into it. All right. So, no, nothing to report. We had no activity since last time. But I think we've got a couple initiatives that we've started kind of a while back, and we've been trying to keep moving it along in terms of website development and kind of the initiative. One of them is called Benton Harbor Now, which you maybe have seen signs out at the Welcome Center. We do own a website for BentonHarborNow.com through our account on Squarespace. And so I think, yeah, we can start to, work together on what we want that website to look like. So yeah, having a new face, I think, join us and help that. I think it'll be a great addition. So yeah, we can kind of talk about what we want to go forward with there. But one of the things we want to highlight is the Welcome Center, everything we can do there with that kind of the container building, but also trying to, bring people into not only just the Arts District, but the downtown city of Benton Harbor area and attract people to the businesses there. So we want to be able to create a website that kind of showcases those small businesses and highlights the business owners and the entrepreneurs, help tell their story a little bit. So that's kind of one of the Benton Harbor Now initiatives. And we can obviously use that, the new website as kind of a vehicle to help do that. And then we can also use the website for specific DDA projects to highlight those, like the theater project, anything else that we want to work on that some of the other committees are a part of, the Main Streets program. We can kind of highlight those projects on the website. We do have the ability as well through Squarespace for fundraising, like it's set up so you can do that. We don't have a plan at the moment for how to raise funds, but we need to, we've had some discussions, some ideas, but we should try to put something together to help kind of raise some funds to support activities and content creation for the website. And so we wanted to connect with, or we're looking to connect with the folks that have set up like St. Joe Today, for example. That's a good example, right? They have some ways that they can, market through ads and people pay for that, and so they can, generate some funding for projects. So that's a model that we can look at. But yeah, getting some horsepower on the project is something that we need to do.
Richard, I put you down here without talking to you, but I did because I thought maybe you'd like to bring everyone up to date about that other effort that's ongoing, that started, can't remember what date that was, in January.
Give me a clue on.
The businesses efforts that are underway.
The district. There's been a meeting, a follow-up on the initial sort of promotional kickoff of a social district.
Yes, but I meant the Arts District group.
Okay. Well, that's kind of premature. I guess going along with John's idea of DDA's function to promote the area, there's other energy that has expressed itself, and they might be participants in a subcommittee, or we should know about them and coordinate with them to work on our shared effort to bring attention and show the best of what we are. And I can fill you in on that. It's premature for me to speak for them, but there's a desire, I think, everywhere for us to improve our communication ability. You mentioned St. Joe Today. If we could simulate that or improve on that, that'd be great. So that's the idea. I guess I just share right now that there are many in the same club that we got to figure out how to organize.
Thank you.
Yeah, maybe to add to that, I'll get with you, Rich. I know there was maybe a meeting back mid-January, I think, with local businesses. Maybe that's what it's related with. So yeah, I'd be curious what kind of came out, what some of the discussions were on that. I was out of the country, but I'd love to hear how it went.
I think there's some great opportunity, which is why I asked him to bring it up. And there is a list of people who attended, and we can talk about that in the committee and figure out what the best way of approaching that is. So thank you.
And actually, yeah, just to add to that, like just having maybe local business owners who are like stakeholders involved in the process, I think will help. Obviously, that'll generate a little horsepower because really we've just kind of been operating as on our own time as volunteers, but somebody who's actually a stakeholder and would prefer, they would want, they have an urgent need to bring people in and attract, folks to their businesses. So stakeholders at the table, I think, will be crucial.
I think there's an opportunity to collaborate too with Emerge and some of the people who already have their startups going. That was something that we talked about way back in the pandemic days with Ambi. I think as Emerge was coming together for what they're doing now. So collaborating amongst everyone, we should be able to get out the message about Benton Harbor being a great place to do business.
Agreed.
Is there any more you want to? No? Okay. So moving on to Main Streets and Social Districts, do you want to talk about, Richard, about what we have done with Main Street so far with our group conversation with Jenna?
Certainly. Winter is a good time to get things done. We've managed, I guess, to not get too much snow on us, so making progress. An area that Benton Harbor stands out is, and thankfully, historic buildings remain and add a lot to our downtown. Without them, we would pretty much be just another thing on the horizon. But Rich and I had a meeting with Jenna Walker, who was involved on another building project here to try to pursue historic marker status. That project fell through, but we engaged with her had a good conversation to learn about the process of either historical markers or historical neighborhoods or downtowns, historic geographic districts. And she helped us understand the process, gave us lots of information to investigate and digest, and I'd say we're in the early stages of that. She has a partner who she will introduce us to help us maybe expedite our familiarity and perhaps offer some assistance as well. So that's the general concept there.
So we potentially will ask her to come down here. That's going to be some sort of a grant application to fund her to come. But she will help us with the survey to get the survey for a National Register district going. So she's already has some familiarity because of the hotel project with Benton Harbor and has spent time here and is interested in helping out if she can. She was somebody who was at the Michigan Downtown Association conference this fall and expressed interest in what we're trying to do here in Benton Harbor there. So an excellent resource person. I'll give you just a brief update of the social district. The social district looks like it's going to come together at this point, as we hoped for the spring. We had a number of people apply so that we'll actually have a district and not just one or two places to go to. So our initial plan was to try to have a soft opening in April. That does look very possible. And with a grand opening, working with Cornerstone Alliance, sometime possibly the weekend of the Blossom Festival. I think looking at Friday at this point. That event will probably take place in the alley. And we hope that businesses will be up and open for an evening so that everyone can take full advantage of a reception and get foot traffic moving around through places that can be open for the evening to take full advantage of new people coming to enjoy the social district. So the next step for the DDA is to help put up the signs and make sure that that's all done and ready for the soft opening in April. There is a potential, because of the timing with everyone's applications, that they may have their licensing before April, so they may actually be able to catch the Art Hop, which is, what is it, the 27th of March? I think that's the date. It's a Friday, that Friday of that week. And if that's the case, there may be some people who will want to do that, but we won't know until we hear back from them, and the clerk will get that information about who's actually gone through the entire process and has their license. But again, we won't know for sure about trying to make that date until we know that there are enough businesses who are actually licensed to take part. But for sure, we'll have something in April people can look forward to.
That date in March, the Friday would be the 28th.
So 28th of March is Art Hop. And if the social district isn't up and running, we still hope you will go ahead and take part in the Art Hop. So I think that covers that. The Welcome Center, just want to say too that the Southwestern Michigan Tourist Council is continuing to support the Welcome Center with materials. They did give us a donation for holiday lights as a sponsorship, which is going, that amount is going towards keeping the center open. We have been in discussions of additional funds to carry us through till next holiday lights. Also, I think they're very excited about the social district, and they've included the social district in their Southwest Michigan tourist guide for the season that's coming up. My fingers were crossed at the time I gave her that information, but it seems like everything's going to come together the way it's supposed to. So that will help drive people to Benton Harbor to enjoy it, we hope. Design, Richard, do you want to, anything you want to bring up?
On the topic you just completed, or design, yeah, I have some things on the design theme. Design is overall generally aesthetics, but there's more to it than that. Safety and inviting. Helping our city be safe and inviting for visitors and residents alike. Design committee. Roundabouts continue to be a challenge. MDOT has replaced some of the arrow signs, which are not very big, but if you look where they are, you'll see them. They're at varying heights on the Riverview roundabout. It'd be great if they had a standard. I want to pursue that. They did not add any markers at the islands, entry islands to each of those points. So I did sometime in December put reflective things up to help them be visible while snow covered the roads. I've returned a couple of those that have been hit since, probably maybe with snow spray or I don't know what, but I would like to get MDOT's attention to help us make our city safer. Street lights, if we can keep working to get out lights that are up so that light helps illuminate some of these areas entering the city from both ends, as well as the Fifth Avenue roundabout, are still dark, and I don't know what the progress is on that. Trash bins, sort of we need to visit them or at least notice if they're full or not and service them when they need servicing. U-turns on Main Street, I think it's based on my observation, which I'm not there all the time, but there's a lot of U-turns being done to get to or depart dispensaries. I don't know if we'd considered adding no U-turn signs or try to encourage safety on the road. As we speak, the light pole that was hit a month or so ago at Territorial and Pawpaw is being changed out or being tended to. It's work in progress, so that's a step forward. It looked like an extreme hazard, so the base of it was cracked, cast iron, and the bolts were holding it barely there. So that work's being done, that's great. Spring cleaning, these are all design theme of impressions, and we've had a lot of work done by various crews through the city, and I'm focusing on downtown now because we are the DDA. At the roundabout at 5th, there was some underground work done. There's some work done on Water Street that all of them have amounted to disturbing grass and such. So I hope that the contractors had some requirement to return the areas to as good as they were or better. I don't know about that. I'd like to. Standing dead trees. We're having a workshop on tree maintenance at Present Pillars on the 6th of March. It's being put on by an organization called Relief Michigan. They help communities around the state with education and even plantings of trees. Their mission is to increase tree coverage for all the reasons that you would do that. Health, coolness, welcoming, all these things. There's flyers right there on the desk that could be grabbed, and there's a promotion on our website, the DDA's Facebook page, and will be on the website. Please spread the word. They are a helpful organization. They're here to help. Other aspects that catch my eye are open windows or broken windows. We have some on Main Street, and I hope that that code enforcement, who is doing a better and better job out there, I hope they can make some progress on some of the visual eyesores on Main Street downtown. Planters, we've got spring cleanup to do. We'll get into that. Probably maybe at the next meeting we'll talk more about coordinating on that. And there's also been infrastructure work done in the city center park. There's areas that need some grass repair, replanting, replacing, maybe dips in the surface, leveled out. The water fountain there appears to now have a connection to the line, so that it's always wet in that drinking fountain that was placed there a couple years ago. It would be great to have that fountain in service again, and hopefully it would reduce the number of water bottles that get carried around and thrown out.
Can I say that when you're up close to that fountain, you can hear water trickling inside the housing? So there may be a broken connection or a broken water line. And yeah, because that's so.
One more thing in my area here. There's an app that's pretty interesting to me. I'm gonna get further into it, but it's called Clio, C-L-I-O. That's the Greek god of history, I think. And it allows placement of markers in areas, prominent areas, landmark areas, or whatever, that you can find if you've got your phone on. You can get reminders of a location's over here, go check it out. We can, as the DDA or as Morton House, I plan to fill in some of those areas so that we can attract visitors. If they happen to be driving through, they might pull off 94 to come check us out.
Is it
Stay
like
tuned.
Geotagging?
Sorry?
Like geotagging?
Yeah, geotagging is part of it. It's very extensive. There's a few in St. Joe. There's none in Benton Harbor. I could be wrong on that, might be one. But we have a lot of reasons to be on these maps. And having a good map of the city would be another thing. DDA project, perhaps, promotions could pursue. That's it for me, I think.
If this kind of ties up with Deidre, but it would be nice if we could schedule an event for the planters, and obviously we're having the tree event, but if we could do like a community, downtown community cleanup with some of the business owners, maybe get some prizes or incentives for people to come out. That might help us get some participation, and we would be ready then for the launch of the social district if we can clean up, the odds and ends that get left over after winter. Do you think you would have some time to help plan an event?
Yes, I had a question. I can't remember who, or the guy that owns a lot of property down here. His staff that usually comes. What happened with that planning of cleaning up?
They did that. I was not available that day, but it was a one-day group of young entrepreneurs or something. I don't remember the name, but you participated, I think. Rich, didn't you?
Yeah, we had, that was the Chamber of Commerce, the Next Gen group of the Chamber of Commerce. And they kind of have their schedule for the year, but we've had informal discussions about trying to find other opportunities to collaborate. So maybe if we pick a couple dates after the meeting, I could shoot them over to them and see if they might be willing to pitch in.
Okay, I was just wondering, because I thought it was going to be, because I believe Richard brought up really good points in regards to if it was going to be whether it was after the parade or before the parade. I thought that's how long ago it was supposed to, how later it was supposed to happen.
I would promote to whoever is interested to have a cleanup just as soon as the city can begin to clean up. There's scraps here and there. They show up after a meltdown and that sort of thing. So, any form, I guess the more communal, the better. There's good in building community by doing good things. So if we could coordinate something like that, I think that'd be great.
The Next Gen people were interested in coming back to do something. So we just need to have something to invite them to come and do. So also, I wondered, Mr. Little, if you think the city would be willing to help or coordinate a small grant to start to nibble away at permanent trash cans and benches that could be used throughout the social district.
Let's get together on identifying what type, what cost, and that kind of thing, and let's see what we can do.
Okay, it'd be nice to kind of build on what we already have, and then with the idea of maybe finding areas that could be more commons, because we don't really currently have a commons in the social district, but if we had a place where there were maybe a few benches where people could sit together, they might linger, and we could make more of what we are currently trying to do with that.
Sounds like a great idea. Let's
Okay,
identify what we'd like to get and what cost.
great. Thank you. I guess we're on to you if you'd like to give us an update on any of the items that are going on. I know you've got a full slate.
Actually, we've got so many items going on, it gets difficult to remember. But want to invite any of you who would like to attend. This is Wednesday, isn't it?
Yes.
Tonight to the Economic Development and Parks Committee meeting. I'll come back in a minute when I get his name mixed up. but there'll be a presentation there on the company that's buying a number of the buildings in downtown and starting to put some plans together to do some things that I think are going to be very helpful to our downtown. They've inquired of us about extending the social district to cover the building that was formerly the Thayer building and some additional area through there. And I think that's going to be quite exciting. Within, as a matter of fact, I think I've got a meeting tomorrow, again, with the people from the Priority Health Group about putting getting set on a schedule for the addition of the equipment to the slab that we did just before winter hit. So we'll have that up and going this summer also. I believe that,
Sorry to interrupt. Can I ask a question about that? Sure. Is that the slab that's kind of on the corner of Water and Main Street there?
that's correct, sir.
What's the plan for that?
Priority Health Outdoor Exercise Center. Yeah, like I believe they've done one in Berrien Springs, I believe. And we've been working with them over the last 3 or 4 years on getting set up, and they went through some changes about exactly where and that kind of thing, and we finally wound up going there. As a matter of fact, the gentleman I'm talking about that will be there doing the presentation this evening is we did a lease with Chris Cook on that site, but they've now bought it, so they'll even be our new landlords on that. Just so you're aware, there's some activity going on with the Fidelity building. The company that owns that is out in California, and I believe they initially became involved with it as an investment for the tax credits that were available. Those tax credits have expired, and Fidelity is the only project they've got out here in this area. So they're looking to sell the building to someone locally. We've had some discussions both with them as well as the gentleman company that's trying to acquire it, because it will require some city involvement in it to have that take place. But we're trying to facilitate the process to the best of our ability, but to do so in a manner that gives some assurance to us that the building is going to be taken care of and that the maintenance level is going to be acceptable both externally and internally in terms of servicing for the people that live in that building. We don't want a situation where somebody grabs the building and tries to get out of it everything they can and then leave a mess for us. So we're working on that. Another item that's going on, it's a little bit early, but we're working with a group called Michigan Baseball League, I believe. They're talking to us about possibly working with the city to bring in and start having baseball games on weekends here at one of our local parks. And we're continuing to have discussions with them to see if we might be able to get that done and pull that off. I believe that Harbor Shores is going to very soon begin their plaza project down next to the Imogene Flats project. We are next meeting next Monday. planning on making an award for demolition on up to 15 buildings. We've just completed the process of getting bids, and this time we had enough in there. We got some fairly reasonable bids. So we may not have the money to do the entire number, but I suspect that we'll get at least 12 or 13 out of that group done. And then I anticipate that demolition work will start in the next, I'm going to say 45 days or so. Just trying to think. I believe the Corner Wall Street project is going to start construction in March, I believe. We're still working with Project T, and I believe they're looking at a closing in April, but it's still to be finalized. I think that's about it for right now.
What does the big first step on the corner of Wall Street?
The first step is they're going to come in and put their construction trailer on 8th while they complete putting a cap on the site. I believe they're planning on raising that up a couple of feet to cap the site.